Hey guys, it's Diana. I'm back. Well, tonight I'm on a little early. Tonight we're going to do some more watercolors. Light and easy. I'm going to show you how to do it with a flat brush, something I just learned. I didn't realize that some peonies actually have kind of a square leaf. And there's round ones too. And we'll talk about going from light to dark. And I just did this. I thought we'd do a quick little drying mushroom. Cute, huh? And you could add a butterfly or something, and I'm also going to do a micro pen to fine lines and a flat brush. No fancy brush for this, just any kind of small flat, depending on what size paper you're working on. I'm actually I got these off Amazon. They're, like a cardstock. They're watercolor postcard size. So that's what I'm using tonight, and then a smaller one that I cut from a big block of watercolor paper. And these are fairly heavy. I think they're like 130 to 180. They're pressed, so they got the little divots in them, so they collect water real good. So if you're gonna do something real watery, like when we did the thin papers the other night, you gotta like tape it down because they start to like do this. This is multimedia paper, which I use it a lot for, or a lighter watercolor. So the heavier the watercolor, with the little divots and stuff in it, there's cold pressed and hot pressed. The cold pressed tends to have the divots. I think they both do. It depends on what you get, but I like the little divots in it because it does collect the water. Anything smoother, you gotta be a little more careful. And I don't try to do it real precise or anything. That's the nice thing about watercolors, is the looseness. We did these the other night, and I've been playing around with some roses. I did little borders, which makes it fun. So you can do a lot of different things with these. You could do labels for jars. You could do tags for Christmas. You could do postcards to send to family. You could do these for thank you. Nice little tiny works of art, and people love art, stuff that you've created yourself. People just enjoy that. So I am going to put you up on my laptop, my iPad. That's it. I'm on it a little bit early, guys, but the weather is going to be a lot better tomorrow. This heat wave has been horrible, but that wind is whipping. I took my umbrella down, and yeah, it's just crazy out there. It's pushing out, the sun's out, but it's windy. I'm afraid we might have a problem with the internet. If we do, and I go off, I usually go right back on again, so then you have to go find me. And tonight we are on Art by Diana Myers, my page, my professional page, business page. And I'm trying to get you up. In the meantime, if you've never met me, I've been doing art for like 40 years. I started out as an oil painter. I dabbled for a long time, raised kids, did hair, had a salon, and worked for Painting with a Twist before COVID. We closed that down and my salon. And in the meantime, I always did art, so I took a bunch of classes and stuff to do online stuff because I know very little. And I've been doing it for 5 years now. So I've had 5 years online and 4 years in my group, my paid group and my free group. Basically what I do, I'm self-taught, so I help newbies. I know they're struggling because I know what I went through. And it was less to find out earlier than there is now. There's so much information out there, I think it's really confusing. So I help acrylic painters that struggle with painting to become more skilled, inspired, and confident in their artistic journey. That's my little spiel. So I try to help you, and I give you ideas, and I look around for different art myself because I think doing different things does help you. Not to get too stuck on one thing, to loosen you up and make you just more confident. Sometimes it's hard. The confident part can be hard. So that's what I do. So I do have a group that is free, and I'll put the link up. Then we'll get on with doing this painting. So let me just get it up there. It's called the Artsy Rose Group with a Z, ARTZY. I'm hoping it goes up like it's supposed to show. Yeah, So in the meantime, all these classes that I do online in here and in my groups, Facebook has changed everything, so we had to find a place to store our videos. We will be doing more reels in our groups, which is good. And I have stored all mine over at YouTube. So if you want to, go over there. It's Diana Myers 899 or Diana Myers at the Artsy Rose. I have over 100 videos on there, and there's a lot more to put on there. And not including my private group, that's just public videos of all different classes I've done. All kinds of stuff. So go over there, and I guess I got binge watch a couple times. And make sure you subscribe. I gotta hit a certain number, and I can start doing it on my phone. Right now I have to do classes on my laptop or on here and then transfer them over, which is fine. So anyways, go check me out and help me along. Build a little business over there. I've been over there actually 4 years, but I never really did too much with it. I use it for different things like interviews and stuff. So anyways, let me turn this around. And am I turning around? Don't get dizzy. And here's what we're doing. Everything's kind of messy over here. I have a little problem with my Posca pens. I think it's time to buy some new ones. I've had them. I think I bought them when they first came out, which was like I said, when I first started, it was maybe 5 years ago. So a couple of these pens are quite old. I just threw 2 out because they were really beat. Okay, let me see if I can get up here. Sometimes it comes right up. Sometimes it's like crazy. I'm on the right page, right? I'm not in the group. Sometimes I get in the group by accident, you know. All right, how come this keeps coming up? Let's go back over here. Let's go right here. Go right there. See your page. Now it says live. Okay, we're good. It says live up in the corner. We are on. All right, so there we go. So now, because we're dealing with a lot of water, like I have a glass palette under here that I use, but I would suggest you get something that you don't care about. I mean, not even about the paint, just it's going to get soaked. So if you got any paintings around or anything, you want something that's going to absorb the water. Paper towels and some kind of plastic item. Some paper towels. I'm just going to grab some old paper towels here. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get out that paper I was telling you about. These are postcards. This is a little bit bigger. This is a one that I had cut too. I thought it was great about, like we did the rocks last week. I started doing watercolors in the spring in the paint, the little rocks, because right now it's actually International Watercolor Month. But the thing about these is that when you're first starting, I did little cards. Like someone asked me to do a card, next thing you know, I had all these cards next to my station. And I learned to do all kinds of things. I ended up using all kinds of media. These are like mixed media. I end up improving my drawing skills. It's fairly cheap to make these things. I didn't buy a lot of fancy card stock. I did some. I didn't really cut paper till later. I got a cutter. So you get a lot of experience. It's like you do a little canvas every time without the expense. And you can still use good products or not. But the thing is to try everything, and it's the advantage of learning how to do small items so you can scale up. A lot of times when I do something small, at some point this might end up being something huge. I do have big paintings. I do palette knife. I do a lot of palette knife, which I enjoy. I'm an acrylic painter currently. So the other day we did radishes, you know, so you get to, that started out as strawberries and then it kind of migrated. So that's how art is. You sit down, you just start doing it, put on your favorite tunes, grab your favorite beverage, make sure it's on the left side if you're right-handed, and your paint water is on the right. Another thing is a lot of watercolor people always have a spray bottle. Now, I'm not using spray on technique right now. I'm just going to put some water on here. I'm going to load some with my, I'm going to do that on the other one. This one we're just going to use a flat square brush. Now, it doesn't have to be a fancy brush. Just a flat square brush. See the ends, flat, square. That's what you want. And I am going to just kind of like slide and twirl, you'll see, the brush to get that square and then the thin edge. So you're not going to use 75 brushes. Now I did use a round brush down when I put the bottom in, but that's not really necessary either. I got a little issue here with my cording. It's all wrapped up in my blow dryer. Hold on, I'm going to unwrap it. Well, come on, girl. Alright, so that's a little bit, so now I can get I gotta get the line, because, you know, the thing is with this, all this stuff, you don't have the phone and the laptop, whatever, the way you need it. Not only does it slide down, but it comes unhooked. And doing this, I think, just uses a lot of juice. And if that little thing comes up that the battery is low, you won't hear me. You'll see me, but you won't hear me. All right, so I kind of tend to migrate, so I'm going to kind of push myself back over to this side, and we're going to get started. So the first thing you want to do, yeah, this is a mess. Actually, I cleaned it not so long ago. I've had this quite a while. This is actually U.S. Supply. It's really good stuff. I think I'm saying Art Supply. I think I'm saying it right. And what you want to do with if you've got one of these type and not the squishy or the tube paint, you want to go right in here and wet it up with your spray bottle. Get it all juicy first. Now, if you're going to do any spray on your canvas or on your paper, you do that next. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go right ahead and we're going to dip into all our different reds and pinks. I kind of want to keep it on the lighter side, because the thing is with watercolor, not like with acrylic and oil, is it's light to dark. If you're this dark, you can't do nothing with the light, so maybe you're going to wash, it probably won't do anything. So you need to start out light and then go darker as you go, and I'll show you how you do that. So I got the paint loaded onto the brush. It's just paint. If you feel like you got too much, go to the side, so these little side panels are, or a dish, and take some off, but keep that, you might use it. Probably will use it. Just take some of the paint off, and if it still looks too dark to you, you can get a little water and just water it down. Because remember, light to dark, just the opposite. And we're going to take our brush and we're going to lay it down flat and then turn towards the center. It looks weird, but it will be okay. And then turn. And I didn't realize until I started doing this that peonies actually have kind of a square edge. They have a flower leaf that is kind of square. So I'm going to go back into the one I had, and I'm going to add some more water to it, add more color. I'm going to kind of keep it on the light side. And peonies also have a dark center, which I'm not worried about, but I'm going to take it and turn it. And turn. Doing the same thing. Then you can come in, you can come in here like this and do the opposite. You can put it down this way and then turn it around. So now you get this like pointed edge. You come in, you put it down sideways, then you go out flat. Now you want this side darker, so I'm going to go into the color palette pans and not the side. And I'm going to come in here. Same thing, I'm going to go on the edge like this, and then I'm going to turn it. So I'm keeping this center. See how the little light ones back there? Leave them there. We're also going to highlight this with a micro pen. Same thing, and then turn it. Same thing, and then turn it. All right. You could put some of them in here if you wanted to, like highlight the edge right here. Just like that. Now I'm going to go back in. A little bit darker, but not a lot. I'm going to add a little more of that red and pink. And I'm going to, same thing, I'm going to come in flat, and then roll, flat, and then roll. This is the opposite. Now this one I'm going to do just the opposite. I'm going to go pointy, and then flat, pointy, and then flat. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to let this dry. I don't want anything else. I want to make some more petals in here, but we're going to let that dry, guys. So now same thing, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make a lightish pink. We're going to make this darker. The last petals on this are going to be a lot darker. This is what they call a dry on wet technique. You're putting a wet brush onto dry paper. The other, like this one we're going to do, this is going to be a wet on wet technique, which I'll show you. Alright, so I'm going to make another one, same thing. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to first, well you could do the skinny one too, it's up to you. But I'm going to do flat and then turn it, flat, oops, and then turn it. I kind of want to keep everything towards the center, like everything goes in like this, like a V. Alright, so I'm going to do that again. still keep it on kind of the light side. So come in here flat, and then turn it, flat, and then turn it. Do it again. I'm gonna do a pointy one and then a flat. Pointy one and then flatten it out. Then I'm gonna do a square one again, and then bring it to a point. It looks complicated, really it's not. So as I layer, I'll be able to add more petals. So there's just one right here. Just like that. We put a little darker one, dark in the middle. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put it in there. Almost like a lotus leaf or something. So you get the idea, right? Now let that dry a second. Now really, a good artist, a good watercolor artist, she has, which I only have the dirty one, she usually has 2 water buckets out. Mine is disgusting. So you're going to see that when I do this in my wet on, that it has like a funny color. But on the other hand, it's a good thing because you'll be able to see it. So they use, and then they rinse out to get a really true color. After they rinse out in the dirty bucket, they go over to clean bucket, and it really, because it's watercolor, it cleans out a lot better. So I'm just going to I don't want to move any paint around, so I'm going to kind of go in the side and just give this a little kiss with a blow dryer. None of them will come out the same, which most flowers they might look the same again on top of them. They're not the same, you know. So get most of the water out of this. Like I said, we'll be doing more of this. We're going to be doing more of these on Saturday in the group, but it's a different technique for this. Very similar, but I'm going to be using the tube color instead of just the pan with a peeling knife, and I'll show you how I'm doing that one. Okay. All right. So now it's pretty dry, right? I'm going to try to make this color darker. So what I want to do is I'll go to the next red that's really deep and dark, and I'm going to really get that I'm going to gum it up and get a lot of that color. No thinning it out too much. You're going to put the water right in there and get it nice and red. Okay, maybe add this a little darker too. I add this one too. You could even add a little blue. Which blue? Let's add a little bit of this dark blue. Kind of just darken this up a little bit. A nice dark thick red. Alright, so now we're going to do basically kind of the same thing. We're going to kind of do a few flat ones with a turn, smaller though. A few flat ones with a turn, a few flat ones with a turn. Then we're going to start just mostly doing the thin ones. And come right in here and just start doing them. What we're looking to do is kind of finish up the details, and now the darker outside is going to make the inside look more like the flower. I'm going to bring some straight out here. I'm going to curve some up right here and bring it around, flatten the brush out. So now we just kind of eyeing it off, making some extra petals, guys. You can round it out a little bit. I think it needs to be round out. Bring this one up a little bit. Just kind of eyeing it off. I think you could, what I'm going to do is I'm going to water down and go over here to where that lighter pink was and kind of maybe put a few extra ones right here. See, I watered it out so it gives it a little different look off in the distance. Alright. Try to keep some of them square ones in there. Same thing, I'm going to darken up this background, a little blue into that red. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of come in and do a few square ones, darker, so there's contrast with the background. Some I'm going to go down and then turn. Some I'll go down and turn. Some I'll start off flat and turn. try to keep it inward. I'm going to go back and get that light pink. And I'm going to take some of these petals and kind of turn them in a little bit. Peonies have a lot of leaves too. You might need to be a little brave on this part. Keep it dark on the bottom. You want to see some contrast. So I did add a little blue and purple so I could see more leaves to the red. Remember, watercolor dries lighter. So don't freak out if there's like some accents. You can also, with watercolor, you can go back, dab, you can take the water and you can remove some color while it's still wet. Go into the water and just kind of come in and take some water out. Now luckily this is pretty good thick paper, so that works out good. I'm going to go back to this lighter color. I don't feel like I have enough lighter colors up here, so I'm going to kind of go in here, just on the edge, Keep some roundness to it. And some flatness too, but some roundness. Kind of imagine in your head what it looks like. Kind of imagine. Keep the dark on the outside, the light on the edges. You want it to look like it has some depth. Yeah, put one right here too. A little lighter, a little lighter, a little lighter. I'm going to round it this bottom a little bit. Round that bottom out. Round this bottom out a little bit. Alright. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave that, let that dry. And then we will finish it. I'll show you how to finish it. Let that dry a minute. Now, if you want some colors, like if I put the green on here and it blends in, I actually like that kind of stuff. I like it when one color runs into another. That's like an old-fashioned way. I like it when there's like the puddling and all that. Alright, so we're going to take this one, and I need some cardstock. No, this is just, I cut this from a great big, like 8x12, you know, a book, a watercolor book. And what I'm going to do with this one is do some like puddling, they call it. Now I'm going to use a round, I'm not using my watercolor brushes, I'm just using a regular brush. And what you're going to do is, you're going to make your shape with just water. Preferably clear water. I'll see who's on here. And I'm just going to make, so you can see because my water's so dirty, make myself a half circle. Just shape it the best you can. And then just keep dropping water right in there. You can leave a few parts out if you feel like you want that as a highlight, but I would just cover it in. A lot of water, a lot of water. Try to keep it even, really drop that water right in. Don't be shy. It's not going to extend. When you go to put the color in, it won't go outside wherever this water is sitting. So don't be afraid. This is a wet on wet technique. I got a lot of water on here, guys. Alright, so now, it starts out light. There's not much you can do about it because you got so much water in there. So I'm going to add a brown and a red. And I'm going to come right in here and I'm going to add this color. And it's just going to spread out on its own. You don't have to do anything, really. There's so much water on here. Just drop it right in. I mean, even if you get too much water on here, just drop it in. If you've got a few bald spots, that's okay, because that's what? That's going to be those little white things, whatever they are. I don't know what you call them, but you just keep adding this water, and it won't go, as long as you don't dab, it will not go outside these lines where you put it. It'll just stay right in there. It'll start to spread. It gives it this really super cool look. I'm still doing brown and red. And you can do your darker on one side, lighter on the other. However you want to highlight, doesn't matter. Now you can leave this just like this if you want to. Remember, it's just going to lighten up a little bit. Boy, a lot, really. Okay, so now I'm going to leave this. And I'm just going to dab it a little bit. So I want, wherever I want a few circles, I can, let me do it this way. I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to dry it out a little bit, and I'm just going to pick up wherever I don't want a lot of color, like this. See what I'm doing? These are going to be these little doohickeys, or whatever they are. I'm just picking the water up off them. If you want a little more control on this edge, you can come in here and just kind of, it's all about controlling the water. Just pick up some of that water and take it off, so you get a little cleaner edge here. And with a watercolor brush holds water better. So here's my watercolor brush. It's a bamboo brush. When I come in here, it holds a lot of water, but it also takes a lot of water off. So I get a little cleaner edge, which I'm not worried about because we're going to go through with those pens. There you go. Okay, we're going to let that sit a bit. Let's see who's on here. Go through with those pens. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Doward Sean. I don't know your first name. What's your first name? Cindy. Who else on here? It's just a flat brush. It's actually, I got this from painting headquarters. Hold on, I gotta get the sound off on my pad. Cindy. Who else on here? I'm back. Hold on, I'm getting there. It takes me forever, I swear to God. Sometimes, I don't know. Alright, there it is. Well, with the blue one, these are actually, painting with a twist, I got these for whatever, something I was doing with them, but these are just a regular acrylic brush. You can see it's a flat. It's not the great big 1 inch. These are 1 inch, a great big one. I would say this is a 1/2 inch brush, flat brush. Alright? You simply gotta just take a measure and measure it, but 1/2 inch brush. It's just a plain acrylic or oil brush, just a plain standard brush. Now, if you want a bamboo brush, you gotta look it up. I don't know what the name of this is. I've had this thing like forever. But any kind of, I have other water brushes. I don't know if I have it in my Amazon store. You can look, but I do believe there's a watercolor set in my Amazon store. Right, but there's no size on them. You like the peonies? It's just a new technique that I've seen. Sometimes experimenting with different brushes gives you different looks. If you ever notice when you're doing certain things, it's fun to have different techniques that you can use, and you just keep the brushes on here so when you need them. But yeah, so it's good to have an arsenal of tools to use. So now I'm going to pick up a round brush, which is the same kind of, there's no number on it or nothing. This is probably a medium round. Like, this is a really small round. This is actually a little painting with a twist. Probably like a 1 or a 0. So you can see the difference. Quite a bit of difference, huh? So this is like a medium. It's not real big, not real small. But, you know, you might like a smaller brush. You might like it bigger. But for the peonies, I would definitely use like a 1/2 inch flat. It's nothing fancy. You can get the watercolors in a flat, too. Alright, so now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take a brown. And it's dry a little bit. Now, if you want that color to mix while it's still wet, you could do this. But I'm just going to come in here and make myself like a little tree stalk here. And just wet on dry, it's a wet brush. Anybody that's new on here, just come on in and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're from. So I love to know where people are from. It's cool when you're from someplace far away. Well, some people think it's cool because this is New York, but this is not like the New. Oh, I've been there. My type daughter lives there down in Brooklyn, but I, for years, lived here and had never been there. But this part of the country is about an hour from Canada, and it's cow country. I have a daughter who married a 5th generation cow farmer. So, you know, we have a lot of water here, a lot of beaches, and a lot of rocky stuff, a lot of water, a lot of lakes, you know. Alright, so it's different everywhere, but, you know, I do love the cities, though. Alright, so now I did that. And I'm going to come in there and I am going to make, oh, is that dry? Oh, no, that's not dry yet. I think I could still take out a little, you could even do like a Q-tip while it's still wet. I just want to take and make some little bald spots here to put in my, I guess, spots, right? I'm actually going to do that with a Posca pen. But you could do white paint too. It's still dry though. This is watercolor. I don't worry about it with my Posca pens, but with acrylic paint, you can really make a problem. Because it dries it right out. It shuts it right down. I really want like that. So whenever you're using a Posca pen on acrylic, make sure you know, make sure the paint is dry. Now, this is not going to look so dark the first time, but once it's dry, I'll be able to color this in pretty good. So we're going to let this one dry. I just want to get some color in here. Let that one dry a little bit. Now let's go back to this peony. And I'm going to take that I'm going to take that round brush and I am going to make some leaves. I think I can use a little smaller one than that. What do I got? Just a small round brush. What do I got? This one's a good one. And I'm going to make me some leaves. I'm just going to go into my paint, wet up my green a little bit. It's kind of dried out a little bit. I'm going to roll it into the paint. And I'm going to make me some leaves. Actually, their leaves tend to, I did these up, but really their leaves kind of come down actually. So you could do a couple of these. They actually come this way, but I'm going to do one up too. And I'm going to bring this down into a stalk. This one right here. My brush is a little dry, so I got. And then we're gonna. Yeah, after I looked at it again, I says, wait, they just don't go up. They have like a little thing where it comes up here like a rose does. You know, like the roses come up into it, but theirs don't. Theirs kind of go down. I love it. I only got one peony. Of course, this is a new house. Never got my other one. Actually, they mowed the whole front down trying to get the freaking tree out. Or the car out of my house, rather. You guys know. Alright, so we got those in. You guys know what happened. I still got pictures. Oh, my garden hit a big old garden. Well, it's working. I'm getting it working it back up now. It's coming along. And just for some interest, I went and I put another one right here. Just to kind of fill out. Sometimes I don't like a lot of negative space. I like to have things, I tend to fill things right in, but I like sometimes just a little something extra in the painting. Just gives it a little interest. I feel like it's in the garden, you know. Just kind of dotting in some texture. I didn't make these ones as big, so maybe I'll do a little leaf right here too. See, these all hold water as well. And there's a watercolor brush, so I've got to kind of apply it a couple times here. That's good. Now, if you let this dry, or hit with the dryer, you'll be able to add another layer of color. Remember, it's light to dark with your watercolors. They're the only ones that does that. Everything else is dark to light because you highlight with the lighter colors. This you can, it won't show. Now you could have this curved in more. You could actually go back now if you want to. And if you feel like you need, I'm going to get a light pink because I'm going to do it in the background. Remember, you're doing it lighter, so if you're going to kind of pick up and you want to fix some of these and make a couple light, make sure you do the lighter paint. And I can kind of come in here and round these out a little bit. They really are kind of a round plant, so I can come in here like this and fix them. You want to drop a little darker color right there. Just go in there and just go in there real thick. Don't add no water to it. Kind of come in and darken it up a little bit. Maybe a few more petals. Same thing here. Kind of round this up. But flatten it a little bit here too. Some of them leaves are square. I'll leave it alone. Of course, you know, peonies come in all kinds of colors. I used to have white and whitish pink. Now I got a deep red one. I didn't think it was going to make it. That thing like died on me. It came back. It's beautiful. I only had one flower left. Next year it'll be better. I've been working on the soil because they dug all around. They put the foundation in, so it's all rock and hard and all. So I've been sticking eggs and bananas and leaves and coffee grounds and, you know, fancy compost stuff and anything I could think of. All right, so now I'm going to get me a little micro pen, and these are very, very fine liner pens, and I have a whole pack of them. Some are brushes, but this is really, really tiny. You could use different colors. There is colored ones, but I'm like into this really just, you could even use a black pen. That'll work too. I think I went like one more stem. So let me just, oh, that's too big. Where's the small one I had? When I worked at Painting with a Twist, oh my God, we were so crazy busy all the time. So I remember thinking, oh my God, I keep wiping. By accident, I wipe all the paint off on this thing. So I look over all the other artists. We're like busy. We ain't got no paper towels. We got paint all over. So the best thing is just to rub it on our quill. Look, I still do it. It's just habit. Hey, Jeanette. Let us know where you're from, guys. All right, so like I said, you can rewatch this anytime, but after 28 to 30 days, this will be over on YouTube because we have to store them there, and I got over 100 videos, so make sure you go over there and subscribe because I need to get more people. I've been on there quite a while, but I never did anything, and now that we have to store our Facebook. So here's a regular black pen, and I'm just going to show you that you can do that. You don't have to have a micro pen. Here's my micro pen, which is a little more looser looking. Just so you can do it. It's not like, no, I can't do that. You can. And I don't try to be perfect with it. I want it a little wonky. It makes it look a little fancy. If you know what I mean. It does give it a little fanciness. This little point. It does make it look a little fancy, don't it? Now you're just copying the shape of what you got. This one's wetter, so it's drier. And you're just kind of copying those little square ones, and they have like a ruffled edge. And you don't have to have it exactly. You can actually make it bigger or smaller simply by just wherever you put the pen marks. And you could add some right here. You could actually add some extra like that. A lot of fun with this. These are like really, it's really kind of relaxing to work with these pens. I use these to draw when I do watercolors like outside. This is what I use to draw with when doing buildings or anything. Pencil and then this. I actually just, I ordered some watercolors for you guys. They'll be in your Happy Meal. I got one more set left. I forgot who got the other one. I just ordered some little kits for watercolor outside, little pans and stuff. I found a good deal on them, so I got them for you guys. Well, I ordered one set for myself too. To see how you can like have a lot of fun just adding wherever you want to. I want to take a little paint, just kind of cover that up right there. You don't have to color every one either. Just make it a little more interesting. You'd be like, I would have colored that one. Well, that's okay. They're looking at it, they're interested. Try to keep some of the square leaves in there. Roughly square, roughly square. Roughly, roughly. You kind of go in there with these kind of strokes you can barely see. Looks like it's going to be a nice evening. Yeah, it's so hot you can't sit outside. That's not a good day. I mean, waking up to 87. I know some of you guys got really hot weather, and I'm complaining. But, you know, I shouldn't complain. I'm not really complaining, because I'll tell you, our winter was horrific. My doors froze shut in the front. And, oh, my God, my driveway. And, you know, it was all new construction, so what a mess. 3 guys out here, old guys. There's a lot of older ones here, you know. They came to shovel. I don't know what the hell I got in there. I never do that, but it was that bad. I mean, they spent most of the day, just one day, just getting everybody out because it was horrible. And I had an appointment with the insurance company, and oh God. All right, so I think you got the idea. Let me turn it around. So I actually think the second set came out better. Doesn't that happen? Yes, it does. I feel like I could use a few more leaves, but I think this one on the bottom is a little wide, but I don't know, they're good. They look like peonies to me. Now we're going to go work on, let me turn this around. We're going to go work on the mushroom. And you can put whatever you want. I usually sign mine, D. Myers. We'll put 25. Nice, these are great. These are so small. And you can put peony up here or not. I think I'll just put it like right here. There you go. Alright, so now I got this little guy. Now he's dry. So, these will probably end up being you guys' we do ATC, we trade cards. We got a little group in the chat area, right in our group. And some people get in there, some people don't. It's up to you what you want to do. So now I'm just going to take, I'm going to go back and put some more white in with my Posca. Now you could use, I have like, I didn't want to drag it out, but I have squash, which is like kind of thick watercolor paper. You could do that. You can come in here with some, there is white on this palette, which I never use, but the best thing to do, if you haven't got one of these pens, acrylic paint. Just put a little bit of white acrylic paint, same thing, depending on how you want this to look. This one's kind of had it too. I guess there's ways you can refill it. I kept the video, God knows where it is, but yeah, this is like a lot of work. But it can be done. I guess it's watered down acrylic paint from the looks of it. That's what the article was showing how to do it. You take the cap off, evidently there's a pump on the inside. You take that out too, and it was, I don't know if it's 3 to 1 or 2 to 3 or something. Alright, so then I'm going to take the black, I'm going to go around these. Then I'm going to show you another technique, sort of, another different brush use. Hold on, let me do this first. And you can add some little extra circles here and there, make it interesting, and then kind of come around. See, I'm not worried about being perfect. And that makes it so much better. Then come in here and do some lines. This one's darker than the other, but that's okay. I don't want it to kind of like be floating in the air, so I kind of did this number so it's not just sitting there. Alright, so now I'm going to take a fan brush, guys, a fan brush. Anything you got, if you got one. I had one. Where is it? What am I doing it? Here it is. This is actually an Arteza number, it just says number 8 fan. I have all different ones. I don't really use them too much. I know Bob Ross is big with them, but I was never a big fan. But they have different things I use them for, like palm trees. And they are great for grass, guys. So I just go through and make sure you wet up your pans of green. Now if you use the tube watercolor, just squirt them onto whatever you use. Your little, if you've got little things like this, or if you've got glass or plastic. And I just go through these blues and greens and just load my brush up. Kind of shake it up a little bit. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to, remember it dries later, so don't freak out. I'm going to do some like this. I'm just going to have fun. I'll show you how I put the background in. You could do some different colors too. Then let them sit for a minute because we got something else we're going to do. Now we're going to take that flat brush again, and I'm going to add a blue background, but let me dry this just a tad. What'll happen is it ends up being like a wash, which is what they call it, a wash. Usually if you put a background on when this is wet, it'll blend right into the, if that's what you're looking to do on purpose, but as a rule, you're not doing that, just be aware that you're going to have to make sure this is kind of dry, or your background that you're using for the sky will, I'm going to water it down a little bit so that it's kind of transparent. A little more water. A little more water. This water's not clear at all either. It's not a good thing. So when I come over here, well, it could be a little bluer. Could be a little bluer. Yeah. And I just kind of go over this green right here. Go around. Now if you want to make some clouds up here, while this is still wet, and some more water, would be the perfect time to come through. See, it's just washing over these grass. So you could come in like with this, and you could just dab out a few clouds if you want to, like that. Oh, I got some pink in there. That's okay. That's okay. You can take it out. That's okay. It's all right. Put some more of this blue in. Do some fireflies up there or something. Alright, so now I go back to my fan brush and I do some more. You could do some different green, or maybe even some blues. You could do some different colors. I put them on there kind of wonky. It's okay. There you go. Kind of screwed that top up, but I got a plan now. I have a plan. I got a plan. All of a sudden, I got a plan. I got my little black brush, my little black thing. We'll go in here and we're going to make some little flies. Some kind of little critters. We'll just make some little critters. How about that? We're just going to make some little critters. It's okay. Little critters are good. They're everywhere. I know I live in the swamp. I had to have a surgical procedure done a few weeks ago. And the girls were I was telling them about where I live, and I use this, I get eaten alive, guys. And I was told that it's me. Because I know I've always been like that, so I started buying this citronella soap. it cured the problem. I mean, not 100%, but between that and the deep woods off, you know, it's working. So I told her about it, and they were like, wow, that's what I do. So she says, yeah, it's like a swamp. I said, I told her, I'm going to get a sign that's going to say, welcome to the swamp. You know, I used to live in the city. Yeah, it's not something we see a lot of. I'm going to have to make him a little bigger. Yeah. There you go. All kinds of critters. Now, I want to put some flowers down here. So all I did was I took my Posca pens, or you could take your paint. Where the heck's my Posca pens? I have a pink and a yellow, which this one is kind of runny. I don't know why. So, like I said, I think it's time to, gotta make sure I kind of dib, it's not so soupy. And I kind of just went through and add a little color. If you press too hard though, it turns into soup. I even add some of these things up in there too. There you go. And then some pink. Same thing. Look at it like just is so soupy. I'm gonna get a new set. You can't keep things forever. So now I have all these pretty colors in here. It's just cute. I wish I had a better Posca pen. There you go. Another piece of art. This one kind of spread out, but it looks almost like to me it looks almost like a thistle. This one right here. Looks like a thistle. Something. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it tonight. Playing around with the watercolors again. And that's what we're going to do Saturday. And we did these, which I put in everybody's mail. This is the last one left. I have some other ones I kept for myself. They're over here somewhere. And I'm going to show you another technique using the tube color instead of just the pan color with a palette knife. And how this one guy spread out the color. And the same thing allowed me to do that technique. After you let it dry for a while, after it pools and moves all over, same thing, you got to use your imagination. In this one I saw a bridge and a kind of a mountain. So, and then I kind of put in the water, and I've seen all kinds of variations on this, but it's nice letting the water just do its thing. And you learn how the water works, and then you learn how to take a brush, if you want to, you don't have to, and kind of move it around because it's really soupy. So you make sure you have a lot of paper towels and a surface you don't care about getting wet. I used to just use a big piece of cardboard, and then I take washi tape, who's on here, or I do my masking tape, because it buckles. She's using a lot of water for that technique. Who's on here? Hello, Joanne. Hello, Joellen. How now, brown cow? So, you know, make sure you got something you don't have to worry about, something to tape down with. I use, as a rule, I just use this masking tape, and I just do this so it doesn't stick too good. No, the water will be everywhere. And a lot of times if I'm doing multiple, I don't really always tape them down. I just let them, I do it so fast, you'll see what I'm talking about. They'll just roll. And then when I'm ready to mess around with them, I'll flatten them out on a book, let them dry, or something, you know, put like rocks or something, whatever. And then I will go and I'll start monkeying around and using my imagination. So it's a good way to work on that too. Anyways guys, so have a great night. And hopefully you can see it's up there. I will see you guys Saturday at 4 o'clock. I might jump on early. I'm famous for that. It depends on what I got going over here. I get impatient, but these always do end up going. Everybody's happy. Everybody get their Happy Meal yet? Anybody that's on here get their Happy Meal yet? My radishes or what? I gave a bunch of stuff out, so I got everything about cleaned out. So I ordered a few more things to give out for Happy Meal because my little box is getting low. All right, guys. So I will see you Saturday, and I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And guys, make art. Make lots and lots of art. And I will see you on Saturday at 4 o'clock. Bye, guys.